Hey guys, let me know what you think by liking and commenting, and it really helps me and this channel out when you subscribe, so please click that button. Thanks a bunch. Hey everyone, today I got these Rapido steam heater cars and I've been looking forward to them for quite some time. I know they've been done before, but I didn't get them at that time, so I was happy when they came back out with them. And so I got the two for the consist I thought needed them both, and those were my Great Northern Empire Builder and my Lowey Scheme Northern Pacific. So here we go. Here's what's in some of its nice parts detail. Now, in fact, I'll pull this apart in just a little bit for you so you can see inside. Take a look at the details. What is this? I have no idea what this is. Some weird, there we go. That one I can work with. All right, let's take a look. Like usual with Rapido, it has a nice little history blurb, which I really appreciate. And getting down into it a little bit further, it talks about the sound. Of course, that's what I'm interested in, other than the fact that they look right. And it uses the wand. Wave the wand. The wand. Even though right here it says it has a decoder in it. Decoder. Why don't you use the decoder for this, for crying out loud? Why do I have to use this wand thing? Yeah, I don't like the wand. I've already stated it, especially since it has a decoder in it. Well, what I realized after investigating this a little bit further is, in fact, it does not have a decoder in it. It's sort of a misnomer. It's not a decoder at all. It doesn't decode anything. All it does is receive power from the track. The only way to do anything with it is with the wand. And I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to fix my comet car also with an actual real decoder. So stay tuned for those videos. I'll have them fairly soon. There's a couple ways I can fix this, and I haven't quite decided the way I really want to do this. All right, anyhow, yeah, simple, right? It's simple, but it would be more simple if you used a decoder. That would be even more simple, so I didn't have to reach out and touch this thing. Luckily, I think working on this is going to be pretty simple. So let's take each one out of the box here. Here is the thing that I can't stand. Yes, I really don't like this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this out here, and we'll take a look at it. I'm sure it'll be just as nice as Rapido's other items. It even has, wow, this is really nice, separately applied hand grabs on the sides and the roof. Looks good. Nice couplers. There's, I guess, part of what's going to hook this up to the rest of the consist in order to give it steam. It's really nice. Portholes, but there are no lights inside. Those are just blocked off. Look, it even has the little safety chain to make sure that won't engage just spontaneously. It's really nice. As usual, the bottom is excessively detailed, which is kind of Rapido's mainstays. Let's flip this over for you so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is, a bunch of piping and all kinds. I guess these are radiators down here. A lot of stuff. Air tanks for the brakes and goodness else knows what else. I'm sure a lot of you guys are really up on this. So there you have it. Hopefully, if you're looking for one of these, this is going to do it for you. And of course, these things for the two little detail pieces, no idea what these are for. Definitely won't use them. All right, let's go ahead and open the other one. As I mentioned before, the Lowey paint scheme is one of the most, if not the most difficult I've found to match across different manufacturers. None of them are even close. You'll see with the locomotives I have pulling this that they're way different. The locomotive, I don't mind being different because sort of once they pass by, the entire consist of cars is the same, and that's what I'm looking for. And my consist in the Lowey scheme is from Rapido. So if there was any one of these steam heater cars I was going to get for sure, it was going to be this Lowey scheme Northern Pacific, because it's the only thing that will match my Rapido Lowey scheme consist. So definitely a necessity. All right, I noticed that the trucks on this one were fine, but the ones on my Lowey scheme were kind of tight. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not. I hope not. But if anything, at least they're put in with screws. They didn't use a snap fit kingpin, so I can actually loosen these. Let's go ahead and take the top off. You can kind of grab the hand grab. You can actually use the hand grab for what it's designed for, and that's grabbing onto. And there's the volume slider at your disposal, and we'll go all the way up. Some of you may find it loud. I'll play it later so you can see, and you can actually turn it all the way off. So not only with the wand can you turn this off, but you can actually use the volume slider as well. I went ahead and pulled the top off so you can take a look inside. There's a nice juicy capacitor for any kind of track flaw, so I won't cut it out. Again, here's the volume slider. Looks pretty good. It has a nice sort of one of those iPhone or tablet speakers in it, which project pretty well. But one thing to be careful of is there is no hole in the bottom of this from what I can tell. So there will be some restriction of air movement. So if this isn't tight enough for you, then you may want to drill some holes in the bottom. These are the three Hall effect switches. The two end ones do the lights, and the one I pointed out in the middle, labeled SC, does the sound. I guess this is what a steam car sounds like. I don't know. I've never actually heard one, so I'm going to have to take Rapido's word for it that this is, in fact, what steam sounds like coming from a steam car. If we wave the wand over the magnet on the one side here, I'll move this over so you can see it, the light will come on. There we go. It's a 3.3 volt LED, I think, but they've rolled it back to 2.65, so it's not at full brightness. We'll do the other side here, as you can see. It comes on with the wand, which of course could easily be handled by a decoder, but that's not how they're doing it here. Not entirely sure how many people are going to use this feature anyway. But if you want it, it's there for the taking. So it does pretty well. As far as how loud this is, strangely, when you hear it, it seems kind of loud, but actually it's not that loud. I don't know how to describe it. It acts and sounds louder than it really is. And I'll show it to you in consist. I'll actually play the sound and then I will turn it on, and I will turn on my diesels, and you can see it gets drowned out pretty quickly. I notice if I bump this thing kind of the wrong way, sometimes the sound shuts off. It's bizarre, even though that capacitor should hold it. It doesn't always seem to. To be honest, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, it's not that loud, and when my diesels are running, you can kind of barely hear it anyway, so I just don't know if it's really worth it. If you want, you can use the wand to actually pick up the cover from the volume switch. There you go. I'll show you how to do it either way, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Probably we'll just use the grab iron that's on it, but here you go. It has that magnet built in, which not only holds it down, but helps you pick it up also. Let's do a coupler height check real quick. It's not super good. It's angled down a little bit, and it's, And if you're like me, a lot of you might put this at the head of your consist. This offset may be problematic. This side's a little bit better, but it's still not great. So I don't know quite what's happening. That's not as good as I would like, and it's not what I've come to expect from Rapido. Let's try this again. This is so weird. It's way off, isn't it? Yeah, it's way off. I'm not quite sure, and it has a distinct downward slope to it, so that's not so good. You can replace this with an offset coupler and it'll take care of that, but just surprised that that's so far off. That's really great. Let's try the Great Northern one. That one's better. Looks better. Still a little bit off, but it's better. Let's try the other, flip this around. Try the other side. Again, look, it has that kind of slight downward cant to it. I kind of don't get it. Okay, let's see. Why is it this? Come on. What is going on? Okay, it's better. Yeah. Great Northern one's better. It's not perfect, but it's better than the Northern Pacific one was. If you're like me, you're going to run these at the head of the consist, and that could make a difference. You may need to have it weigh a fair amount. It's 4.1 ounces, so it's not super heavy, but there is enough room in there to add weight, and the shell is pretty easy to get on. Let's try the other one here. Well, it's the same, 4.1, so Not super duper heavy, but hopefully heavy enough to pull the consist. Okay, I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm going to turn on my diesels. You're going to see how quickly this gets drowned out. I realized that didn't work quite as good as I wanted it to because the steam car is directly in front of my mic and the other ones are off to the side. But trust me, it gets drowned out pretty quickly. Again, you can see that my Lowey paint scheme diesels are fairly different from the passenger consist, and this is something I've experienced. I tried to mix and match manufacturers and it just did not work. Every paint scheme looked different. Walthers looked way different. IHC looked way different. Only Rapido has been consistent across its own line. Here's what it looks like in consist. I think it looks great. And you know what? The diesels actually, strangely, I think look a little bit better. They're a little bit off color. I don't know. It makes for a nice offset. Great Northern, on the other hand, all of them, even though there's slight variances, you can see here that this is the only Rapido, Great Northern thing owned from Rapido. You can see that it's a little bit drabber. It's a little bit more muted compared to my Walthers and some of my other cars. They all look fine. I mean, they look like they're just different levels of weathering out in the sun. They're not completely different hues and shades like we have with the Lowey scheme. Okay, well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're thinking about purchasing this, hopefully this either made your mind up or made you second guess, whichever one works best for you. I certainly like them in my consist, and we'll see though with the weight. I'll run this for you and you'll see that 4.1 ounces. Will it pull this consist? This consist is almost a scale half-mile long. It is a very, very long consist. And I would say it is easily my heaviest consist also. This is heavy. All the cars are Walthers, except of course this Rapido. They are all Walthers. So they are very heavy. And if this car can stay tracked while pulling it, I think we've got a pretty good product here. Like always, please let me know your thoughts. I really appreciate when you do that. I try to get back to everyone. I try to reply to everyone, actually. And let me know also what you feel about this by liking. And if you could, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Until next time, I hope you stay safe, take care, and happy model railroading. I hope that you have as much fun or even more fun at this hobby than I do. So I'll talk to you later. See you around.